Hey guys, it's Cindy. Today I'm going to be doing a tag. I'm actually going to be doing the end of the year tag. I believe the creator of this was Ariel Bissett, so I'll go ahead and leave the original video linked down below. To start off, I do have a glass of wine with me today because I've had a crazy week and I've also been like more into drinking wine lately. I believe this is sangria. I'm not sure. I think it's like red sangria. It's literally wine in a box, so nothing fancy whatsoever. So if you guys want to go grab a glass of wine and sit down and chill because I'm like so overwork. But I do have tomorrow off, which is great. So I thought I'd just sit down and record a tag, and I probably will be doing a book haul after this as well. So I'll probably be finishing up my wine in there too. I'm trying to only have that one glass tonight, so we'll see. So I'm going to jump into the questions. It's a super short tag. It only has like 6 questions. I was going to do this other tag called like, do you have this? Do you have that? And it gives you prompts and you basically go on your bookshelf and try to find if you have those kind of books, like that follow that general theme. But the thing is, my bookshelves are a fucking mess right now, as you guys can see. And I have stacks of books literally everywhere. So I want to like clean up my shelves. So I only have 2 bookshelves. And then I have like some small cubicles, but like nothing fits on those. So I honestly need like 2 or 3 more shelves and like space to put them. But I really don't want like to do that video my bookshelves be a mess. I want to do that video so you guys can see my shelves and see me like scrambling around to find something versus me just pulling the books like this. I just feel like that's kind of boring. But I'm going to go ahead and jump right into this. So the first question is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? So there's one book that I actually put down after reading it. I was supposed to be doing like a buddy read and I only read 50 pages of it and then kind of gave up. And it's not because I didn't like the writing style or the story or anything like that. I just wasn't in the mood for fantasy at the moment. And that is Scythe by Neal Shusterman. As you guys can see, I had it like tabbed up with like what pages I was going to read for every week, and that just did not go well. So like the group read was supposed to be through Facebook, and then we were supposed to like message each other at the end of every week and like talk about our feelings. But I didn't finish the book. So they went on to read like other books, and I was just like, yeah, this whole buddy reading thing, it's not working out. So I didn't finish reading this, but I really want to pick it back up again because the few pages that I read, it was like so action packed and so much story was being developed, and I was like eating it up, but then I just put it down and forgot about it. So I do want to read this one and then get to Thunderhead, I believe is the second one, because I have that one too. Okay, so the second question is, do you have oh my god, I can't say this. The second question is, do you have fuck. The second question is, do you have an autumnal, why can't I say that fucking word? Autumnal. Autumnal? Do you have an autumnal? Question mark. Okay. The second question is, do you have an the second question is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? And I had a hard time not only saying that sentence but trying to find a book for this question. So like this tag was a little bit more planned out than like normal tags because I needed to like pull books off of my shelves and to be able to answer the questions. So I decided on a book that I picked up recently or got through like Amazon Prime, which is the worst thing to ever happen to me because I'm buying too many books. And the reason I picked this one is because it's supposed to be like an Alaskan romance, which sounds really creepy, but not like that. It just makes me think of like winter and cold and like comfy sweaters, and I'm pretty sure this book is going to be a lot deeper than that, but that's kind of what I have envisioned going into it. And that is The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. I'm sure this is like really, really sad. I haven't actually read the back of it. I just know that it's about like an Alaskan pilot, and so I don't know what it's about, but I've heard great things, which made me pick it up. So I want to read this one because I think it'll get me into like the winter vibes, even though it's super cold here. So like I don't really need something to convince me that it's cold outside when it's cold outside. I put ice in my wine because I'm classy. Okay, so the next question is there a new release you're still waiting for? And there's one book that I'm still waiting for. It's an anthology that comes out in December. I'm not really sure the exact date, but it is an anthology called Dear Heartbreak, and it is written by YA authors, and it talks about like heartbreak and like things that, you know, normally we don't talk about as forth as love, and it says it's about the dark side of love. So basically, like, teens wrote letters to YA authors talking about different heartbreaks and circumstances that they've had in relationships, and it's like their responses from the actual authors. So I think that's pretty cool. It's kind of like a, like, you know, like when they write in the newspaper and they answer through like the advice column. So I think that's going to be really, really good. And I've heard a couple of people that have gotten arcs of it like really like it, so I'm really excited for that one. Okay, so the next question is, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? This one's a little bit all over the place. So I picked out 3 books, and they fall into 3 different categories. The first one is a book that I possibly had on my shelf for the longest, and I think I've had this book since like before my booktube channel even existed. I bought this at like a Books A Million just on a whim because I had like finally got back into reading and I had more time to read, so I picked it up and I still haven't read it. It's probably been like 3 years. I wish I had the receipt so I could see. And this is a contemporary, of course. It's A Million Miles Away by Lara Avery, and this is before I knew anything about booktube, so like I just picked up a book that looked like it would be good. I didn't actually like read reviews or watch opinions or nothing like that. So I picked this one up, and I haven't heard anyone talk about it, so it probably really sucks. It's a YA. Oh my god, I grabbed that recently, the memory book, same author. But anyways, it's about it's a love story between like a set of twins. So like basically there's this guy that one of them is dating, and it's twin sisters, and one of their boyfriends, know what I'm trying to say. So it's twin sisters, and one of the twins ends up dying in a car crash. So then the girl that survives ends up pretending to be her dead twin sister to date her boyfriend. Does that make sense? So I don't know. I think this is probably going to like not be great, but I want to read it because I've had it sitting on my shelf for years now. So then the next 2, one of them is a book that has been literally on my TBR, like in my TBR videos for the month, probably for like a year now, and it is Do Not Disturb by A.R. Torre. I'm not sure when I read The Girl in 6E. I don't even know if it was in 2018. But I love that book, and I don't know why I haven't continued on with the series, so I have to read this so that way I can finish the series. There's another book I believe after this one, and I just have to finish the series. It's so good. I don't know why I haven't continued with it, and they're so cheap off Book Depository. That's where I got my copies from. And then the last book is kind of like a redeeming book because I have heard such great things about this author, but the one book that I have read from her I just was not a fan of. So I need to read this so I can see if going forward I want to read more from this author. And this is like everyone's favorite book from her. So that is A Quiet Kind of Thunder by Sarah Bernard, and I can't remember what book it was that I read from her. It was her newest work though, and it wasn't like one of my wrap-ups, but I just didn't like it. So I really hope I like this one. I've heard that it is absolutely beautiful and heartbreaking, so I want to give this one a shot before the end of the year. Okay, so question number 5. Is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? And the answer to this is yes. I have a lot of books that I could possibly read and ultimately love, but one of them that comes to mind is a book that I have been putting off for such a long time, and I need to read it because everyone and their mother loves this book. Like the Goodreads rating must be off the charts, and it is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I know I haven't read this yet. I know that everyone has and everyone loves this, and I need to just like sit down and read it. I've like had it on TBRs, I've had it on like all these lists of books that I know that I will love, but I just haven't read it, and I need to immediately, and I'm sure it'll be like, if not my favorite, one of my favorite books of 2018. The last question is, have you already started making reading plans for 2018? I guess she made this last year, but for us it'd be 2019. And the answer to this is yes and no. I have like a whole TBR project for 2019 that I want to do, which I will talk more of following up probably like next month since it's almost December. And then I have kind of like a book buying thing that I want to do, or like to control my book buying, and kind of like a reward system, but I don't know if I'm actually going to do it. I just kind of have it like in the works because it's been something I've been thinking about lately. I don't know how like willing to commit to that I am. That was like a really choppy sentence. And so those are two bookish goals. They're very vague because I am going to make videos on them, so I don't want to go into like a whole thing about that. And then I also think I'm actually going to do a Goodreads goal this year or next year. I'm not sure though, because this year I set it to 1 and everything else like reading was just so stress-free. So I'm still debating on that too. So maybe the answer to the question was no. Everything that I've been thinking about so far has been kind of up in the air. I just know that I want to put out a lot of content and like read a lot of books, and I don't know, I think I might make goals, but I think they're going to be a lot more flexible because I feel like the less pressure I have on my reading, like the more I read. And that's like overall in BookTube, like it's very, very stressful. Like you watch everyone's TBRs and they're fucking reading 17 to 20 books a month. Like, I'm sorry, but for me that's just like not realistic. I would have to like quit everything, like my job, my school, everything. So I'd rather just do it leisurely and just like love the books that I read. Not that they don't. We all live different lifestyles, but it's just like you have to live up to that competition, and it's just not fair to put that pressure on yourself. Total tangent. But I'm not sure what my reading goals are for 2019, as you guys can see. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys have done this tag, please let me know in the comments down below so I can check out the video, or like the vlog, or not vlog, the blog, or in any kind of form that you've done this or answered these questions. And I will talk to you guys next time. Hope you guys have a great day or night. Bye!